From Careco TV, one of the longest-running outdoor programs on television today. Exploring the country and the coast in search of adventures. From the mountains of the Great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. This is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. This week on Americana Outdoors, we're covering the 2020 BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship, presented by Bass Pro Shops. 400 of the top college anglers have earned the opportunity to compete on Pickwick Lake for a national championship. They've put in the time, studied the lake, and are ready to sack up the winning bag of fish.
We're fishing probably 15, 20 feet of water, just dragging Carolina rig and a jig through them, trying to get them fired up, and then if they get fired up, we can usually give them a bite on a crankbait or something moving, catch them quicker.
We're going to drag a big worm around a little bit, and then we're going to try to get them fired up, maybe some moving baits, big swim bait, spoon, something like that.
Here's a quick glance at the rules for this event. Teams will bring their best 5 fish to the weigh-in. Fish must measure a minimum length of 15 inches, and the first flight of boats are due back in at 1 p.m.
Oh, that's a big one. How about a start?
Attaboy.
Is that not a start or what? Oh my gosh. Oh, I told you I was gonna catch one today. Oh my gosh. Good start to the morning.
That's a keeper.
All right, number 5. That's what we were looking to do, get a limit and then go up from there.
With 5 fish in the boat, the School of the Year leaders, McKendree University, are off and running here on day 1. McKendree University won its first School of the Year title at this exact event last season. They enter this final event of the season with a more than 1,000 lead over second place and are looking to become the second team to ever win this title in back-to-back years.
We're shooting 15 pounds. You know, that's what it's been taking, the last couple of years, just to get you in the top 20 or around that area. Yeah, it'd be great to win the thing, but, we can still win School of the Year without winning this tournament. So we're shooting for 15, 16 pounds a day. I think that should seal the deal. We need another boat to do about the same, and I think we'd be pretty good.
Let's join Mark Harris and Cameron Rhodes of Dallas Baptist University and see how they're doing so far in this competition.
So this morning we had a pretty good hydrilla stretch that we caught a limit pretty quick. We had a limit about 7 a.m. this morning, and no big ones though, so we kind of moved to a hydrilla stretch that was closer to the main river, and that's where we caught our first big one, and then we kind of figured out this area. We caught 3 more big ones out of this area, so that's kind of how our day's gone. We're just going to be sitting here for the remainder of it because we know there's some more big ones in here for sure.
After teams continue to fish for a few more hours, day 1 is at an end, and it's time to head back to the scales for weigh-in. Teams are setting the bar high on this first day of competition.
1833, had a good day out there today. 1492, 1684. Y'all put your hands together. 1908, yes sir, way to go. Okay, Bumpman says we may have a new leader from Bryan College. We got Bailey and Preston coming up here. 1982, so close to busting that 20, you still took the lead.
Bailey, Fain and Preston Kendrick from Bryan College take over the day 1 lead with 19.82 pounds. Here's a look at the top 10 standings following day 1 weigh-in. All right, coming up, we'll head right into day 2 action on the water. And later, we'll crown a winner of the 2020 BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship and see which team wins the coveted School of the Year title.
Before the road trips, the cool mornings, the hot cast iron, the short nights, and the long cast. There's one stop that you can't afford to miss. It's time to gear up and camp out at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Save on all your camping essentials, in-store and online. Your adventure starts here.
Trade hours for seconds.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance.
Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Welcome back to final day coverage of the 2020 BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship, presented by Bass Pro Shops. We're getting right to the action with day one leaders Bailey Fain and Preston Kendrick.
Right there. There he is. Please, Lord. Stay put, baby. Stay put. Please, Lord. Yes, sir. Thank you, Lord.
Keep.
Thank you, Lord.
Think he'll keep.
Might be keeper, guys. Oh, that's a good one, dude. Yes.
Here it comes. Keep.
Thank you, Lord. Good Lord. That's what we want. Attaboy, Bailey. Get him. Oh, let's go, dude. I think that be close, but it might be number 5. Be real close.
Just shy.
Just shy?
I mean, just shy.
Oh, number 5. That feels better. Get a limit.
We got about 45 minutes. Well, to be honest with you, I feel like we blew it. I feel like we were a bite or two away from placing really good, and I don't know. But now we still got time. Definitely ain't over.
The teams fished hard and made the most of every second before time ran out. Now it's time to head back to the scales. Weigh-in for the 2020 BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship, presented by Bass Pro Shops, is well underway. We're seeing numerous bags over the 15-pound mark, and it looks like we're about to see the biggest bag of the day thus far.
Campbellsville University, Dalton and Bradley, 2021.
Dalton Smith and Bradley Dunnigan set the bar high with a total weight of 34.63 pounds. The UNA team of Martin McCravey and Tristan Crowder bring in the second bag, just over 20 pounds, giving them a total weight of 33.71 pounds.
Bailey and Preston, y'all led this thing yesterday. They only need 14 and change, and they have 16-17. Bryan College just won it.
Bailey Fain and Preston Kendrick claimed first place with a 5-bass limit of 16.17 pounds and a 2-day total of 35.99 pounds.
We're at a loss of words. We had a spot yesterday they were schooling on, and we pulled up to it this morning, and we caught most of the weight on the schooling hole.
None of us thought we would even be in this position. it was just the good Lord. I just want to thank God for even giving us this opportunity.
Here's a quick look at how the top 10 shook out following the conclusion of weigh-in. McKendree University secures the School of the Year title and becomes the second program to ever win the title in back-to-back years. Here's a quick glance at the final top 10 in the race for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year, presented by Abu Garcia.
We've had a great year this year, and our biggest thing was we wanted that feeling again coming into this tournament. We just wanted a chance. That's all. We didn't think we were going to have a 1,000-point lead coming in like we did, just like last year, but we just wanted a chance.
We came into here with a little lead, but as you know, that can really go away in a hurry. You have to execute, you have to catch fish, and they were on the water every day, fishing hard, and got their limits, and we got the job done.
The 2020 Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship is a wrap. We hope to see you out on the water next season. Well, coming up, we're heading over to West Texas, where we're meeting up with the Garmin team and Dr. Dale Rollins of the Rolling Plains Quail Research Foundation and gathering insight into quail conservation efforts.
Your time on the water is precious. You return season after season to make unforgettable memories, fight a few fish, reconnect with friends, and recenter yourself. If you count on having this time, you need an outboard you can count on to power it. That's why boaters stay with Yamaha for the long run, for life. They know reliability starts here.
Stetson Blaylock, Todd Otten, Hank Terry, let's go!
Garmin Live Scope, I tell you right now, if you don't have it, you are behind. It's just wild. It's like a video game.
If you do not have that Garmin Live Scope, you are definitely missing out.
Bassmaster Classic Champion!
Inside every Yamaha lives the heart and soul of a competitor. The DNA of a champion. When you ride with us, it revs your heart and becomes a part of you too.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is brought to you by Yamaha Marine. Reliability starts here. Sunline, the strength to guarantee your confidence. Engel, the original high-performance cooler. Garmin Zero, leave the guesswork behind. Welcome back to Americana Outdoors. We're enjoying a rare snow day out in West Texas with the outdoors team from Garmin and renowned expert in all things quail, Dr. Dale Rollins of the Rolling Plains Quail Research Foundation.
About 12 years ago, we met with some philanthropists from Pennsylvania who were big players in the conservation fund, and we invited them to come out and go quail hunting with them. We were trying to raise money for the Bob White Brigade, which is a youth program that we do. Right away I said, what you guys really need is a ranch in West Texas and let me manage it for quail research. And so we showed them 3 great years of quail hunting. Next thing we know, they said, we'd like to have a ranch in West Texas and let y'all manage it for quail research. So we got that ranch in 2006, and since that time, we've tried to make it a model for quail conservation and research. Our motto is that we want to sustain Texas' wild quail hunting heritage for this and future generations.
As we journey through the brushy fields today, we'll have the opportunity to hear from Dr. Rollins on the importance of quail habitat management and how an organization like the Rolling Plains Quail Research Foundation approaches achieving these goals.
Which is harder to manage for? Blues
harder
or bob?
To manage for?
Yeah.
Blue quail are more forgiving in that when it's dry and hard or overgrazed, you can still have blue quail.
Yeah.
Often here in Texas, they raise Angora goats and they raise Spanish goats. And the Spanish goats are the survivor of the two. They can get fat off the pavement. Blue quail are kind of like that relative to bob whites.
All right. Are blues as dependent on early successional habitat as bobs?
Well, yes and no. Here in the West, the answer would be no. Now again, bob whites aren't either. Again, if I'm talking about bob whites in Missouri, I'm talking about I can get too much grass and I want to have more grazing, burning, whatever, to give me some bare ground. Bare ground is rarely a weak link for us. So we want to see actually a higher cirral stage, if you will, where we've got a little bit more grass and so forth than what y'all would want to see further to the east. So again, grazing, that makes grazing ultimately important to us, and regulating our stocking rate and stocking typically very lightly is the better thing for quail habitat in our latitude. Here's one of the more common food sources for blue quail in West Texas. It's called tasahia. Some people call it jumping cactus or turkey pear, and these little red fruits, blue quail love them. And even here now, we're hunting in early February, there's still an abundance of those. And sometimes you'll see almost a browse line, if you will, down low where they picked them all off. But you'll see blue quail sitting up in here and eating those tasahias. So not only a source of winter food, but if it's dry, a source of moisture as well. So not a particularly enjoyable plant to hunt in because it gets all in you, but a good plant for quail. Dead.
Nice shot.
Dead bird right there, dead.
If there's anybody I want to get outshot by, it's Dr. Dale Rollins.
Dead bird, Trace.
That was a perfect covey rise. Tracer was locked down. Those birds held in the snow. They came up right on me. I should have had one of those birds at least, but flock shot it, covey shot it, call it what you want, but Dr. Dale, he dropped one, so Tracer's picked it up right now. I don't know, maybe we'll catch up to him, but overall, that was great. I mean, Dr. Rollins is a legend, so just being out here is really incredible, and getting to shoot a covey rise with him is something I'll remember for a long time.
First thing I do when I get a bird, I want to know how old it was. So I look at these feathers right in here. Little white tips indicates a juvenile bird. It was hatched last summer. In the perfect world, 80% of the birds we put in our bag would be juvenile birds. Be a great barometer to last year's production. So what I've seen out here this year has been about 50 to 60% juveniles. Could be better, could be worse, but that's much better than a lot of areas further east here. So they did have a decent nesting and hatch last summer. The second thing I do is I fill the crop. I just want to know if this one's empty, which for blue quail is unusual because blue quail, almost regardless of the time of day, they got something in their crop. They are great hustlers, and like I said, this bird is not fed this morning, so bird in hand, you can learn a lot.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more quail hunting and insight on the status of quail conservation when we come back.
The Thompson Center Compass 2. A feature-rich rifle packed with value and a higher standard of reliable accuracy. Now with Generation 2 trigger and threaded muzzle. Offered in scoped and non-scoped versions and in a wide variety of calibers. From the range to the fields to the mountains, TC has a rifle to match every hunter's needs.
From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. We play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.
It's in our nature to protect, defending our heritage, our way of life, and the ones we love. It's your right. Don't give it up. Protect it or lose it. Walkers.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is brought to you by Power Pole, Total Boat Control. Outdoor Action TV, stream your favorite shows. BoatUS, we're with you on the water. As with all nonprofits, the Rolling Plains Quail Research Foundation faces its own unique set of challenges.
Anytime you're dealing with a nonprofit, probably 95% of our funding comes from donations. With the ranch, our operating costs are about $400,000 a year. Those are the hardest dollars to raise. We've been very fortunate to have a partnership with Quail Coalition in Texas, and especially the Park Cities Quail Coalition in Dallas. They've been the wind under our research wings. Then beyond your operating dollars, if you want to say, well, we want to go study blue quail out in the Permian Basin, well, you got to find the dollars to do that. So again, that's always a challenge. Typically a study is going to cost you somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000 a year to do a master's level research or PhD kind of thing. So again, identifying what you want done and then finding the people who are well-heeled enough to say, we want to support that.
A key component of operating a research facility is making observations and asking questions. Over recent years, wildlife biologists have seen a decline in quail populations despite decent habitat conditions. In order to counter with this decline, Rolling Plains Quail Research Foundation kicked off Operation Idiopathic Decline, which came to be the largest study of disease and parasites in bobwhites and blue quail in the world.
We studied quail over 35 different sites in West Texas and Western Oklahoma with a team of scientists. And the two things that came out of that we think had the greatest significance were two parasites. One, an eye worm that resides behind the eye, the other one, a cecal worm, which resides down in the gut. So since that time, we've worked extensively with the Wildlife Toxicology Lab at Texas Tech University and Dr. Ron Kendall, and our goal is having a medicated feed approved by the FDA that will take out those eye worms and cecal worms.
To learn more about this research initiative or to donate to the foundation, visit quailresearch.org. As we rejoin this quest for quail, Ray Hunt has just taken his first bird of the day.
I appreciate it. Every quail's a trophy, but a blue quail behind pointing dogs, that's a rare gem.
That's an absolute rare gem. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming out today.
I'm glad y'all could join us.
Oh, absolutely. It's an incredible little bird, you know? See, there he is. And so you're saying that no spots there?
No. You see the little faint brown streaks?
Yeah.
A little faint. That's a hen. And then on the wing, what you're looking for is what's called the primary coverts. These feathers right here, the white tips, that indicates a juvenile. So that bird was
the white tips right there.
Right there. That bird was hatched last summer. And like I said, about 60% of the birds or so we've been shooting here this year have been juveniles, which is a pretty good mark. Ideally it'd be 80%, but that indicates that we've had some population growth this past year.
Bird up. Good shot.
Nice.
The dogs are working hard, and before Dr. Rollins has a chance to retrieve his blue quail from Gus, another bird flushes right before their eyes.
Nice shot, Steve. Man, these blue quail, these things are awesome. You know, it's like you remember, there's certain hunts you remember, right? And it's one of these for me is going to be Dr. Rollins, hunting with his two setters here with Steve. I just picked up a bird on the rise with Dr. Rollins, that's incredible. Those are those things that you remember, and you know, wild birds out here with Dr. Rollins and Steve, and you hear all these things about blue quail, how hard they are and stuff like that. They are. They're an incredible bird, but we've just been really, really lucky. Great points, great dog work. These birds have been holding well. They're doing great things, and this is that high point of the season. I'm glad it's the end of the season because there's no way it's getting better than this. So this one is kind of a question. It's like this, it looks like the scaling almost goes down further onto the breast a little bit, or is that just because this is missing some feathers in there?
Yeah, and the scientific name is Calipepla squamata meaning scale-like. So you can see that looks just like, you know, scales on a fish.
Man, cool birds.
Good shooting, guys.
Good shooting all around. Good dog work.
Like I said, what a backdrop for an interview.
Yeah.
That was on point. Yep. And they held.
Well, it's been a nice day.
Yeah. It's been a
Come on. Come on. Tracer, let's go.
That's a wrap on hunting blue quail in West Texas under some of the most bizarre conditions we've seen on screen. The Rolling Plains Quail Research Foundation focuses on one thing: understanding and managing bobwhite and scaled quail in West Texas.
If you're in the Texas, the Rolling Plains, Southern Plains area, you can become a student of quail. That's what I call it. Somebody that's interested, they're passionate about blue quail and bobwhite quail. And then they find out more again about what we're doing. We're about to kick off, hopefully within the next year, a multi-university collaboration on blue quail here in the Permian Basin. So some big things are coming in the future, again, working with some other universities and scientists, many of whom I've known because several of them are my past graduate students kind of thing. The quail world is a small, tightly knit world, and we're looking forward to some great things coming in the future.
To learn more about how you can get involved with the foundation, either through contributing to fundraising efforts or getting hands-on experience through research initiatives, visit quailresearch.org. Hey, thank you for watching, and join us next week on a new episode of Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
You know, when I look at the tournaments I've won, probably 4 or 5 of the boats that I've won have been on a tube. But I completely gotten away from flipping a tube because nobody made one soft enough.
Big Bite has come with this new tour series of baits. The thing that's probably the most unique is when you look at that bait, the salt just rolls out of it. And to me, that is the reason a fish bites a tube and hangs onto it. This isn't one of those let's go out and catch some smallmouth tube. This is a let's get it done tube.
Introducing the first crossbow with a built-in range-finding scope. 10-point and Garmin deliver the most accurate long-range crossbow ever. Exact aim, any distance, range, aim, and kill at 470 feet per second. The new Vapor RS 470-0. Learn more at 10pointcrossbows.com.
I love my Fusion wireless camera.
It's the easiest cell cam I've ever set up.
Download the command app.
Scan the QR code.
Everything's done on your phone.
All kinds of affordable and different data plans.
For as little as $5 a month, you can have your trail cam pictures sent right to your cell phone.
You can go into the app, you can change all the camera settings, you can change all the upload settings, and it's got a feature where you can map out where your cameras are. It shows you when the activity has been in front of your cameras.
Check it out, the Fusion wireless camera from Stealth Cam.
Want to know why the top shooting pros choose High-Vis? High-Vis has an enormous lineup of sights for every shooting platform possible that are clean looking and easy to mount. Improve your shooting with faster target acquisition and eliminate cross-eyed dominance. High-Vis sights are the brightest out there, helping you find your target with ease no matter the shooting conditions. Choose the best. Choose High-Vis and see what you've been missing.
To me, the Performance Center by Smith & Wesson means taking the best and making it better. Regardless if I'm passing on the traditions of hunting or teaching someone new about the outdoors, I know that using a Performance Center handgun will be something they will remember for the rest of their lives. Every model comes with an awesome trigger. They're reliable in all the conditions, as well as offering a variety of sight and scope mounting capabilities. The Performance Center by Smith & Wesson. Performance when it matters most.
You've been waiting all week for this, and Sunline wants to make sure you're ready for it with bulk spools of all your favorite fishing lines.
Oh, it's so fun.
Bulk up with Sunline.
You know that guy that's always bringing in big ones from offshore? He's got secret lures. That guy that can pull out his spinning rod and start catching them when you can't buy a bite. He's got secret lures. What about that guy that can follow you down the bank and catch what you left behind? He's got secret lures.
Oh, yeah, good one.
If you're ready to be that guy, get your secret lures today at secretlures.com.
God made a deer farmer, a person who stays up at night to save a sick fawn's life, gets up and still goes to work at sunrise. This person works in the heat, the cold, and the rain. He needs to feed his animals, make sure they have water. If the water's frozen, he must break it so they can drink. He needed somebody to collect real scents and smells from deer, to provide hunting scents to the hunters so they could feed their families. So, God made a deer farmer.